This lesson is equations and problem solving. In this example, Nick drove into the city to buy a software program at a computer store. Because of traffic, he averages only 15 miles an hour on the way there. On the way back, he averages 35 miles an hour. The total travel time is 2 hours. The question is, how long did it take him to drive to the computer store? Let's set up a table to organize the information. We know that rate times time equals distance. We know that we're talking about a trip to the store, trip there, and a trip back home. We know that it took him, actually, you go ahead and copy this table and complete it, and then we'll see how you did. So go ahead and press pause here and do that. Alright, so we did. We took him 15 miles an hour going there, 35 miles an hour coming back. The total driving time is 2 hours, so we'll put that at the bottom under the time column. We don't know how long it took him to go there, so let's put an X. If it took 2 hours total and he used up X hours going there should be 2 minus X hours left for the time back. And let's see, the distance for there is rate times time equals 15, so the distance there is 15 times X, or 15X. The distance back is 35 times 2 minus X, or 35 times the quantity 2 minus X. Go ahead and try to find an equation in the table here that could be used to solve the problem. So pause the video and write an equation you could use to solve the problem. Well, the key here is that the distance there and the distance back have to be the same. So if they're the same, we should just be able to say they're equal to each other. And then go ahead and solve. I would distribute 35 to both. Actually, go ahead and pause again. You try to solve here. Okay, I would distribute 35 to the 2 and the negative x. I would add 35x to both sides. 70 equals 50x. We're going to have to divide by 50. And the result there is 1.4. So it took Nick 1.4 hours to drive to the computer store. Here's another example. You try. Jane and Peter leave their home traveling in opposite directions on a straight road. Peter drives 15 miles an hour faster than Jane. After 3 hours, they're 225 miles apart. We need to find Peter's rate and Jane's rate. Again, let's set up a table. We know that rate times time equals distance. We know we're talking about Jane driving and Peter driving, so we'll just need a row for each one of those. Go ahead and copy the table and complete. So press pause here. When you're ready to check your answer with mine, press play again. We know that Peter's rate is 15 miles an hour faster than Jane's, which means we know nothing about Jane's rate. So let's put an X there. And then Peter's is 15 faster than that, so that'd be X plus 15. We don't know any individual time, but we do know that it took a total of, oh, wait a minute, after 3 hours. So they both drove 3 hours. So Peter drove 3 hours, Jane drove 3 hours. That's a little simpler than the other problem we did. Rate times time equals distance, so 3 times X plus 15 is Peter's distance, and 3 times X is Jane's distance. And we know that they get to be 225 miles apart, so that's a total distance. That should go on the bottom. Now you need to try to find an equation in this table and write that down. So go ahead and pause the video, try to do that, and then when you're ready to check your answer, press play. Well, it turns out that if 225 is the total distance, then we should be able to take Jane's distance and add it to Peter's distance to equal 225, and that's what we've done here. Here's Jane's distance added to Peter's distance. If you want, you should go ahead and pause this and try to solve that. Let's see, I think I would be distributing the 3 to the x and the 15, so 3x plus 45 plus 3x. Notice how we have a 3x and another 3x on the same side of the equal sign here. So we can just go ahead and combine like terms. 6x plus 45 equals 225. Subtract that 45 from both sides. 6x equals 180. Divide by the 6, and x equals 30. So we know Jane's rate is 30 miles an hour. Peter's is 15 miles an hour faster, so he's got to be 45 miles an hour. There's our final answer there at the bottom of the screen. That's our learning target for this lesson. I'll see you in class.